Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Soul Work. We appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm your host, Jenny Cousins, and we all know Miss Kimberly Buckler, my co-host. And we have a very exciting guest on tonight, as usual. We always do. But he's very interesting, I must say. I could chat and chat and chat for a long time, definitely so. But before we introduce him, we're going to remind the viewers that after our short commercial break, that we're going to be taking calls. And what is that number, Kim?
It is 403-539-6710.
So get your pens ready, Calgary, because that break is coming up here pretty quick. So on tonight's show, I want to welcome everyone to meet Mr. Doug Craig. And thank you, Doug, for coming on. It's a real pleasure. And we've already had so many laughs as it is.
Well, thank you, Jenny, for inviting me, and thank you, Kimberly. Looking forward to our experience together.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun, I'll warn you all.
So, can you explain to us what was the primary driving force in your life that helped to facilitate the change?
Well, you know, when we go through massive change and transformation, there's always one thing that we need to grasp onto that helps us through that. And so one of the things that I learned that was kind of like my motto for many years, and it still is that if you change your attitude, you'll change your experience. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I proved that by doing it the other way, by having a bad attitude for a number of years and wondered why I had all those experiences. And once I started to change my attitude, then my experiences began to change, and it opened me up to a whole new world of seeing and doing things differently.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely. It's so important because I know, like, even if I have a challenging day ahead of me, I'll specifically say it's going to be a really, really good day today. Everything's going to go perfectly in divine order. And then I notice that everything will flow a lot better regardless of what the challenges are planned.
I think one of the things that people forget about, though, is when we do make that declaration, then we have to step into the experience, because it's a whole lot easier saying it than it is doing it. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as we decide that we're going to put that out there, it's like we're challenging the universe to try and get us off our position, where we meet a lot of people that kind of take us away from this positive place that we're going to.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that you were involved with the Center for Spiritual Living for quite some time. Can you tell the viewers more about your experience with that and when you first got involved with the center?
Well, actually, I was in a lifestyle where for 17 years I've been involved in crime and violence and drugs and alcohol and everything like that. My life kind of fell apart when I became 30. And I opened up to an idea of saying, hey, I need help. I need help. And through a visionary dream, I was directed to what was then called the Center for Positive Living, which is now a Center for Spiritual Living. Mm-hmm. And I went there not having anything to do with the spiritual path before, and sat there, and what I listened to and what I heard began to make a whole lot of sense to me and gave me that hope and that possibility of, gee, maybe I can change and salvage my life and move forward and make some good, valuable contributions and have a great time. And it works.
Yes, absolutely.
Woohoo, I say.
Yeah. And so what would be the three most important points to keep in mind when pursuing, say, dreams and goals and ideas, taking courses and that?
Well, one of the things that we need to remember is that we need to be clear on where we're going and what we want to experience. However, the how-tos are none of our business. We got to start where we are with what we can right now and move towards those goals. And we have to remember along the way, if things don't work out the way we think they should, they work out the way they need to experience it. So there is three things that we can do. First off is to remember there's no justifying. We don't have to justify how we feel or who we are or anything. We don't have to justify ourselves. We just got to be clear and be in harmony and peace with universal laws and principles. The second thing is to remember no blaming. It doesn't matter. Like I always used to say, well, I've been in 15 accidents, but none of them was my fault. But however, I did show up for them, you see. So there is no blaming. It doesn't matter whether it's your fault or not. You're in a situation, you need to deal with it and move forward. But when you try to find blame, then you give away your personal power. And the most important one of all of those is no attachment to an outcome.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't be attached. I remember for 5 years I said, I want to go to Hawaii, but as soon as I get money. I thought you needed money to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's a limitation when you have an attachment about how it has to happen. I took that off, and somebody phoned me from Hawaii, and they paid for me to go over there and do a job. I went to Hawaii twice and got paid. I've never paid to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. Law of attraction.
But when you start saying how it has to happen and exactly what it looks like, when you're attached to an outcome, then you set yourself up.
You do.
Especially in interpersonal transactions where you're dealing with someone and being kind and reasonable and think that they'll respond that way and they blow you off. You see, you can't be attached to how people do it. You just got to do what you feel is right at the time for yourself and in harmony with spiritual law and principle. Easy to say, a little more difficult to put in practice, but those are the three key elements.
Yes, and stay in the now. It's very important to stay in the now and let the future just take its place. I think one of the interesting points, there's so many about you, Doug. And one day I will do a documentary on you, by the way.
Great.
I'm really looking forward to it. But I know that you're an ordained minister, and before I get you to answer that, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, as I mentioned earlier, a couple of weeks ago I was having a bad night, and I was sitting back and saying I need a sign, from Spirit, something from the Holy Spirit, something, do something. And within, I don't know, like 2 hours maybe, I wanted to check my messages, go on the computer, and here's you. You sent me that link to one of the sermons you did, and it was about faith. And I'm like, wow. I listened to it 3 times. It was 30 minutes. I listened to it 3 times. So can you explain to our viewers a little bit about how you got involved to be an ordained minister and
Well, it goes back to that day I was directed there, and I'm sitting in the center, and I had no idea where it was going. And then the second week I was sitting there, and I heard that inner movement, that inner voice said, Doug, you're going to enjoy being a minister. So I had no idea how to do that or anything, but that led me on that path. And of course, I might also add, right at the same time, I got 2 months to go, and I got a trial I'm going to go to for trafficking, to see whether I'm going to be doing 2 to 5 years in prison or not. And then I got this voice telling me that. It was kind of a conflicting bit of information. But I said, okay, if that's what I'm supposed to be doing, then I'll just follow the leads. And surely that happened.
Yes.
That was in 1980 that happened to me. And it was 1993 I got ordained, and 88 when I finished my courses. So,
wow. So it's the calling.
It's a calling. And it'll always... The Spirit will always be there for you and will always direct you.
Right.
And there are 2 modes of learning, inspiration and desperation. Spirit will always inspire us, but however, we usually don't respond to it, and we wait till it's desperate before we react. So we've got to get into listening to that a little bit more and following those leads, and things will smooth out a lot for us and help us out a lot.
And if you don't listen, you're going to get a swift kick in the butt.
You get the kick, and then you get the broom handle, then you get the 2x2, and then if you don't listen, you get the 4x4, you're level, and okay, I'm open and receptive to learning now. But we don't have to do it that way. But most people don't act on inspiration. They wait till desperation.
Yeah, or they just, they don't listen to it, and then by
until
then
it becomes desperate. That's when they listen,
No, that's true. That's why I always ask. Like, I follow my intuition, but, sometimes I'm like, okay, Spirit, talk to me here. Give me a sign. Like, I need a sign with something, because if not, I'm going to do this or do that. And they do.
Well, and that's what I work with people most of the time. With people, they say, "Oh, well, I've been working on this, and this is happening. How will I know if I'm ready?" It's real simple. Well, how's that? Is it happening? Yeah. Well, then you're ready. Well, I'm not because of this, and this. No, you don't understand. It's not because of that. You are ready, or else it wouldn't be happening. You got to get your bloated nothingness out of the way to deal with this stuff.
Absolutely. So let's say if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, and I recommend anybody really, Doug. I mean, you're phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
You are by far.
Well, my home number that I use is area code 403-288-5857.
Yes.
And I'll get back to anybody
Yes.
as time permits, because I've got a whole bunch
Yes,
of things on the go.
absolutely. And the website's going to be up as it is
for
too.
the Joy of Life Center for Spiritual
Yes,
Living. Yeah.
yes, and I mean it's just, you know, like we could talk and talk and talk, and we will, because, by the way, Doug is staying the full show, everyone. So if anyone has any questions for him, please phone us in. And what's that number, Kim?
403-539-6710.
And we're going to be right back, Calgary, right after these messages. So hang tight. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Work. If you're just tuning in right now, I'm your host, Jeni Cousins, and this is Soul Work. And this is our guest tonight, Doug Craig. And we are taking calls, Calgary. And just what's that number again there, Kim?
It is 403-539-6710.
Absolutely.
And our first caller is Marion.
Marion, we have a first caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you, Marion?
Pretty good. You probably don't remember me.
No. We get a lot of calls.
Yeah, I know you do. Anyway, I was just wondering where my job situation is going.
Where, in what way? Like when you're going to find another job, or
Yes,
if you're going
yes,
to
yes.
stay?
What kind of job will I be best suited for, or?
Well, we can always change our job at any time. Like one thing you have to remember is you've got to be fully ready, right? Like if we're like, I don't know if I want to change it or not, or I don't know what I want to do, then what happens is you send those mixed signals to the universe.
Yeah.
So keep that in the mind, because people say, I want to change this or I want to change that, but yet they're still lingering, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to be completely ready, and you've got to be 100% sure. Okay, that you really do want to make that change. And I do feel you will be making that change, but you've got to be definitely sure, right? So let that fear go.
Yeah.
You got to let
That's
that.
what it is fear.
Yeah, because the fear will hang on to you. It's fear is like negative energy that will hold on to your energy field, is how I call it. So you need to shake that off and have trust and have faith and really zoom into what it is you'd really like to be doing. And then you're going to see that everything is just going to shift and everything's just going to start to turn around for you.
Okay, well,
Right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I'm feeling that kind of lingering. That's why. Right? So
Definitely.
Are you
Definitely.
interested in purchasing?
Pardon me?
Are you interested in purchasing?
I was a purchasing supervisor before. I have lots of trades behind me, but I just don't know what I want to get into, or...
that's the
Okay.
that's the lingering
Yeah.
part of it. So that's
It's almost like going into a different industry than what you've already been working with. So if you're purchasing, say, parts for a Toyota company or something like that, to go into the fashion industry for purchasing, a totally different industry than what you've worked in?
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny
Yeah.
you say that, because I'm in the parts industry.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I think a different
Yeah.
outlook on it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate your time then.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so drop away any fear. Okay, that's the first thing, right? And just really follow what it is you'd really like to get into. I just think you're just going to linger for a little bit before you really find something and draw something. And I think there's going to be some ad in the paper that you're going to see, and it's going to pull your interest.
Okay.
Yeah, and really go with that, because you could have something coming up, something more stronger, more of a pull this fall.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm just feeling it opening up for you more in the fall, in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it then.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
and something really quickly. I don't know what you were supposed to be ordering, but maybe it's you ordering a liner for something and you forgot to order this liner.
A liner.
I'm just leaving that somebody's supposed to be ordering a liner.
I know
and
what you're talking about.
and you got to make that order by tomorrow, or you're going to miss your deadline.
Pardon me?
You need to make that order by tomorrow, or you're going to miss a deadline of some sort.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Have a beautiful evening. And
That's funny.
And our next call is Diane.
Diane.
Hello.
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 Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm pretty good.
And your question for us tonight?
I am a 60-year-old lady. I've had a very interesting life as far as employment experiences. I've hit a lull. I am working 2 different jobs to meet my financial expectations that I have at this time, and I'm just wondering if there is a change coming up.
There is.
I'm sorry.
There is. You're going to have one job, right?
Oh.
Yeah. No, I don't see you having 2 jobs or 3 jobs. I see you going into one job. Right. You very well are going to see something. Well, I'm seeing the number 6, but I'm not feeling 6 days. I'm feeling more so 6 weeks. But you need a rest.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you need a rest because it's almost like your immune system is kind of going down.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. So you need to rest. Okay, because if you don't rest, you're going to get really sick, meaning like a really bad cold, right, which is going to turn into a really bad flu, and it's just going to linger, and you're not going to have any energy to get up. So if you got to
I have scheduled a vacation for myself.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm going to the coast.
Okay, but the coast is very good because the water represents emotions. When are you going?
I'm going at the end of June into the first couple of weeks in July.
Okay, so that fits into the 6 weeks then, right? So that's exactly what you need to do, right? And that's gonna open up everything for you with your creativity, because once you have that rest, drink more water too, by the way, but once you have that rest, you're going to have a lot more clarity of what it is that you'd really like to do. But I'm seeing one job, and I'm not seeing it like being like a really stressful full-time job. I'm seeing 6 also again, so it could be 6 hours. But you're going to have some fluctuation in that too, and it's going to work really good with your schedule. It's not a 9-to-5 job, right? And it's not Monday to Friday. There's going to be some flexibility. It's almost like you might have a couple of weekdays off.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're going to be okay. But have your rest.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I will.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we have another caller already, Barbara. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, yes. My daughter, Karen, lives in Houston. Will she get a job? Hello?
I'm not feeling her getting a job right away, to be really honest with you. She could get something just to kind of tie her over, but I'm really feeling that it's just going to take her quite some time to find a job. It's almost like she's struggling, and sometimes when we try too hard, we stumble and we fall and we don't see what it is we really want to do, and that's when we miss opportunities. What's your daughter's first name?
Karen.
Karen? Yeah, she'll find something. I even see her getting more involved. I'm seeing her at a desk, actually. What type of work is she looking for? Hello?
Hello, yes, I'm listening.
What kind of work is she looking for?
Office work.
Yeah, that's where I said the desk. Right, office work. She will find something, right? But it's just going to take a little bit of time. It's almost like the job that I see coming to her. It's not here right now. It's not available right now, right? So within 3 months,
will she get a job in Houston or Calgary?
If she got a job in Calgary, she'd find it right away. Actually, in Houston, I'm feeling more delays. Actually, she can find something in Houston, but it's just going to take a little bit more time, right?
Yes.
Okay, but she could find something here in Calgary, and I'm feeling oil and gas. So she does have that. Yeah, she does have that ability, right? If she had found a job here, right, it would be connected with Houston anyways, and she could get transferred out there at a later time. But if she applies in Houston, it's going to take a little more time before she does find something. I'm just feeling more struggle in there for her.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like she belongs
Yes,
Yeah.
she has a hard time finding a job there than
Yeah.
here.
It just doesn't feel like it's the right place for her. It really doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah, because sometimes we can move to different, countries or provinces or cities and, give it all our go. And sometimes it's like we just don't belong there. So Spirit will purposely kick us back to where we're supposed to be or kick us somewhere else to where we're supposed to go. But I'm not really feeling her in Houston. I'm really not, to be honest with you. It's almost like,
okay.
it's just almost like it's just not the right time for her to be there. She could have been there for 20 years, right? But
yeah, she keeps wanting to come back to Calgary.
Then do it, because that's her intuition telling her to come back, right? It's almost like she needs to come here and get settled, and then she can take this opportunity to give her and to present to her many more opportunities. And she could get transferred to Houston at the right time.
About 4 years down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So she should just keep trying for Calgary.
I would. I personally would, because she will click something here. She
Well,
could
thank you.
Yeah, she could even find something in Edmonton, but I'm not feeling she'd be happy there. I'm feeling her more here.
That's right.
Yeah.
She has family here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Definitely.
Well, that's good to know. Thank
Yes.
you.
You're welcome, and we appreciate your call. It's
Okay,
just that,
thank you.
Yes, it's just we have another person on hold already.
That's okay. You've been great. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
you're welcome.
Okay,
Hi.
we've got time for one more caller, Sherry Ann.
Sherry Ann.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good thanks.
And your question for us tonight?
Yeah. Hi. I was wondering about my career.
I feel you're very transient. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was wondering about, I'm wondering about getting a transfer.
Yeah, transient. What type of work you doing?
I'm a teacher.
Yeah, you will move. I'm not feeling that you're going to be settled in one spot for too long. That's why I said transient right at the beginning. And for some reason, I'm hearing Canmore coming into place in the mountains. For some reason, the mountain man's right here, by the way. But yeah, I'm feeling the mountains, and I'm not feeling a pull with you to go up there. For some reason, is there something up there?
No.
Okay, there will be, but I'm just feeling a big, strong pull for you with there. You don't have a friend there or something? There's
I used
something.
to have a longtime relative that lived there, but she passed away.
Do you teach the French too? The English and the French? Are you English and French teacher?
No, I'm a special ed teacher.
Okay.
But you very well could be picking up with the other bilingual, because I felt bilingual with her too, by the way I did. Because the transient, whenever I see transient too, transient is so open, right? Meaning culture, different places.
Well, I'm a literacy teacher. I used to work on the Morley Reserve,
Okay.
so maybe that's why.
Yeah, transient. But I'm feeling the mountains. I'm just so strongly feeling the mountains. Your relative that have passed on, what was her first name?
My name?
No, the relative that have passed on. It was female, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her name was Maureen.
Okay, yeah. I'm just really feeling that it's almost like she wants you to go up to the mountains. It's almost like a healing for you there, and you're going to get a lot of clarity and a lot of vision as to what. And I'm seeing a flower for some reason.
All my families are florists,
Yeah.
so they're in the floral business.
Okay. Yeah, because it's almost like, the flowers, it's almost like she was holding a flower, but the mountains are coming in really clear. So I would go up there one day soon, and it's almost like you're going to have this soul searching, and you're going to feel her presence around you, because I do feel her around you even more so. And you might even have, she might give you some type of a sign even. You might all of a sudden find some flower on, like the hood of your car, for instance, and you're going to be like, how did that get there? Right? Like we might think, oh, maybe the wind blew something, but it's not. But there's something more with the flower and the mountains. So I would definitely go up there.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to get pulled even more so up there. So that would be very therapeutic for you.
Okay. Is there time for another question?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay, I've been on I have health issues, and
Yeah, you
we've been
do.
waiting for specialists for about 3 or 4 months.
Right.
And so I'm just wondering if everything's going to work out.
Yeah, it's just going to take a time, and this is where the mountains come in, right? You know how I said earlier about a healing?
Yeah.
Okay, the mountains are going to, it's almost like there's a little bit of kind of like toxins in your body that it just needs to be released, right? Your health issues are going to take a little bit of time, to be very honest with you, to clear out. I just kind of feel that within 2 years, to be honest, that you're going to feel so much different.
Okay.
And you very well could end up moving up to the mountains, because that's one word that's just not leaving me. And that's why I
Okay.
keep repeating it. So give yourself realistically 2 years, you're going to be okay.
But you don't see a move within like 3 to 4 months.
You could make a move if you wanted to, really, and it'll be job related and everything like that. But you got to make sure that if you do that, you want to stay stable, because you can't keep moving around. That's why I said transient right at the beginning, right? Because if you move around doing this, and that, you're not going to get your health issues cleared. So I got the wrap up sign here, but go to the mountains. I can't stress that enough. Okay, and you're going to get more of a healing, and within 2 years you're going to be okay. And thank you for calling tonight. We're already at the end of our show, and I
Great.
want to thank our guest, Doug, for coming on.
Thanks.
It's been a real pleasure
Thank
having
you.
you. You're welcome.
Welcome.
You're welcome. It's been a real pleasure having you on, Doug.
Been a pleasure being on.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks to Kim. We want to remind everybody that we're live again next Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m., Channel 10 on Shaw TV. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.